winding up of the creation, the whole thing, how it ends, and it also talks about the churning of the milk ocean. It talks about the story of Gajendra. Then Canto 9 we're doing today, just covering quickly, not trying to do a whole Canto 9, but just to give an idea. It is more related with mukti. In English, it's called liberation. Liberation of the conditioned soul, encaged by gross and subtle coverings of the body and mind. So, in the first canto, how it was explained in the Sarga, that one human being as we know it contains 24 elements. The other elements are more gross and 3 elements are subtle. So the gross elements do not go from one body to the other. They are left behind with the body. But the 3 subtle elements, they go with that soul. That is what gives the soul the personality. Because if we are all part and parcel of Krishna, we're all brothers and sisters, and we're all the same, then why are we so different? Why are we not so same? Because we all have our own personalities, we all have our own karma, we all have our own prarabdha, and we all have our own mind, intelligence, and false ego. So that is what makes these 3 are the main ingredients that keep the human being engaged in this material world. If we can come out of these 3, free ourselves from these 3, then what happens? The soul becomes purified. Not that it is not impure now, but it's covered with the impurity. It's not impure itself, it cannot be impure. But it's covered with the impurity. Like a diamond. Diamond doesn't get damaged or dirty or bad or something contaminated. But if it is covered with something that is contaminated, then it is covered, although the diamond is pure. So these 3 things are keeping us there, and soon as we come out of the covering of these 3, then the soul becomes pure and it goes where it belongs, goes to its home. Because when we are out, what do we want to do? No matter how good of a place you go, how beautiful place of vacation, week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 months, you get homesick. I want to go home. The place you are living is an absolute paradise compared to your home, but I still get homesick. I want to go home. No matter what home is and what paradise I am living in, but home is home. So the soul always wants to go home. Never wants to be here. Never wants to live here. But because it's encaged with these things, it's stuck here. So when that engagement opens up, that is called mukti. Get it? Did I tell you the story of Matsyagra? There was, you know how people are envious. Envy, being envy of each other, is also one of the things that keeps us in this material world. Lobh, moh, mad, matsarya, irsha, these are all products of coming from lust. Lust meaning desire. Lust doesn't mean lust only. Lust means any kind of desire is a lust. Desire of anything is lust. So, people in the regular life usually they're envious of their neighbors. I have this, my neighbor doesn't. Or he has this, or she has this, I'm going to get better. So this one man, he was very envious. And he went to find out how he can please the Lord to become so much better. So somebody told him, if you go to Lord Shiva, he's pleased very easily, You quickly get whatever you want. He said, fine. I'll go to Lord Shiva. He goes to Lord Shiva very quickly. Lord Shiva was pleased. And Lord Shiva asked him, what do you want? He said, well, I'm not very ambitious. I'm not very greedy. But I want a desire. If you want to fulfill my desire, give me something that would give me whatever I want whenever I want. Very good. One desire, he asked for everything. So Lord Shiva said, okay, I can give you that, but one condition. Whatever you ask, it will give you. But it will give double to your neighbor. So he said, fine, I don't care. But then on the way back, he's thinking, how? So Lord Shiva gives him a ghanta. Ghanta like mandir mein bajane wala. This ghanta, you ring this bell, and then this bell will be giving echo. Within that echo period, whatever you desire, you get. But your neighbor will get too. So he's thinking, oh God, I want so many things, but I don't want my neighbor to get double of that. So he's all disheartened. He brings the Ghanteshwar Mahadev at home and he just puts him on the side. I don't want to ask for anything because what is the point? My neighbor is going to get double. So one day, when his wife went to clean up that corner of the house, she accidentally moved the ghanta. And the ghanta rang, the Ghanteshwar Mahadev. And in her heart, she was desiring, if my mother was still around, she would make me such a nice plate of food. Nobody ever feeds me here, ever since my mother died, nobody ever fed me. And I would really like to have a big, nice plate of Gujarati thali. As soon as that desire came to her mind, the ghanta was ringing and the Gujarati thali appeared. So she was very surprised. So this is like chappan bhog. And it has tulsi leaves all over the place. It's probably offered too. And it's all for me. This is very good, but where did it come from? She said, okay, well, I'll worry about that later. But let me just eat this now. I have never had anybody give me fresh food to eat. I have to cook for myself and, feed everybody else and then eat later and, I never get any fresh meal. So this is a good time. So she sits down to eat and then she starts to think again, what happened? Where did the chappan bhog come from? And then it occurred to her that yes, that ghanta, it was ringing. So she said, well, I have to find out what is happening. So just to try, why don't I ask for a couple of new saris, a bit of jewelry, some cosmetics, and see if the ghanta will do it again. And the ghanta did it. So now it was confirmed. Now she's making her shopping list. Okay. Ghanteshwar Mahadev, I need a big house. Convert my little hut into a nice big house. Done, Ghanteshwar Mahadev. Oh my God, I have a big house now. Do I have to clean everything by myself and do the dishes and this, that, and the other thing? My God, that's very difficult. But Ghanteshwar Mahadev is here, rings it again. Give me 4 servants. 4 servants. Appear. Yes, madam. What do you want us to do for you? And she fills up the whole shopping list. And then the husband comes home. And he says, my little hut has been converted into this gorgeous looking rancher. But the neighbor's house is converted into a 2-story house. Mine is only 1 story, he's got 2 stories over there. And he goes and looks at his wife, and she's just loaded with all the jewelry and the best saris of the fashion from directly from Miss India fashion line, and she's just shining all over the place. And he guessed it. He said, she must have found out about the Ghanteshwar Mahadev, and she got everything out of Ghanteshwar Mahadev, and the neighbors, they got dumped. So he's just about to commit suicide, and what he created, that the neighbors got, I did all the tapasya. I got the Lord Shiva to be happy. I got the Ghanteshwar Mahadev, and they are reaping the reward. That's it. This life is not worth living anymore. So his wife is very excited to see him. That look, you never told me what this Ghanteshwar Mahadev can do. You are a bad man. We have been living in this poverty-stricken state for such a long time. You should have told me before what the Ghanteshwar Mahadev can do. He says, oh, calm down, Bhagavan. I did not tell you, because look, come out and see what happened at the neighbor's house. You have a 1-story rancher, he has a double-story duplex. You have 4 servants over here, there's 8 servants. You asked the Ghanteshwar Mahadev for 100 new fashion saris, your neighbor got 200. Now she's starting to get jealous. She has 200 saris. I have 1, and all because of me, she has 200 saris. But this woman was smart. She said, I can fix this. Let me show you. She rings the ghanta again and says, Ghanteshwar Mahadev, may my husband lose 1 eye. And he loses his eye. He says, what are you doing? She said, go check out the neighbor, he must have lost both. Then she rings the ghanta again, Ghanteshwar Mahadev, may my husband lose 1 leg. With 1 leg you can at least walk. Imagine what he would do with 2 legs missing. Then she says, Ghanteshwar Mahadev, right in front of our house, dig a big well. Big hole. To cover half the house. So you can still use the rest of it. But the neighbors are going to get 2 big holes in front of their house. They'll never come out of this house again. So that's how we try to make ourselves happy And really, we try to find happiness in doing or looking better than the other. What is happiness is satisfaction, santushti. What we have, we should be satisfied with that. And we should be thankful to who is providing us. Now, that doesn't mean that we're not going to make any endeavor, we're not going to work, we're not going to make any effort. We're going to give up karma. That's not the point. The point is that whatever we can do, maintaining our Krishna consciousness for keeping this body and soul together. We should just do that rather than worry about what's the other people doing, because somebody or the other will always be higher. So no point looking up like that, because it will only give you your own neck ache. Always look at how we can satisfy ourselves with what we have and find satisfaction in attaining love of God rather than attaining material things. Those material things, no matter how much sukha sampati gara aave kashta minte tanaka, वो कितने सुख संपत्ति आ जाए, is not going to give us happiness. Happiness cannot be bought, it cannot be purchased. So, we were explaining the liberation that's given in the 9th canto, and it also gives a very special way it presents the pastimes of Lord Ram that are completely different than from Ramayana, but it has all the answers of the Ramayana in the Srimad Bhagavatam, because Ramayana is written in a story pastime form, and Srimad Bhagavatam starts 15-20 generations before Lord Ram from his family, and then it goes into so many further generations of Lord Ram. So it has a lot more information about Lord Ram's pastimes. And finally, the Ashraya is the 10th topic. His pastimes, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, his pastimes, appearance, his disappearance, the transcendence, the Sambonam, from whom everything emanates, upon whom everything rests, and whom everything merges after annihilation. There's also a Chatushloki Bhagavatam that was given by the Supreme Lord to Brahma, which is in the 2nd canto, and basically the rest of the Bhagavatam after the 2nd canto is an explanation of that Chatushloki Bhagavatam that almost ends at the 10th canto, but there was 11th and 12th canto that also covered further questions that came up. So if this is okay, then tomorrow we will tell you about the speakers of the Bhagavatam, and then we'll go into the 7th canto and we'll discuss the 30 sutras. Alright? Any final questions? Okay, then, yeah. Yes, Prasannatma Guru.
Prabhuji, I'm a little confused. You said that when the soul leaves, goes back to Godhead, the covering, which is the mind, intelligence, ego,
Yeah.
stays back. So what happens to it then?
It is subtle. It doesn't matter what happens to it. Because when we pass stool, we don't care where it goes after, do we? It's something you want to lose. You just carry on and go, and somebody else will wear it. What happens to it is a subtle thing. It's not substance that something will happen. Like this cup has some substance. It will biodegrade and merge into the soil and become soil. But something that is subtle, meaning it has no form, like the intelligence, it has no form. Where is somebody's intelligence? Can somebody show me? No, it's nowhere, but it's there. It's the most important thing, but I cannot show you where my intelligence is. So, it's subtle. The subtle things, where they go, it doesn't matter. They're subtle. They're not gross.
So another soul coming down to the earth picks it up, or?
It goes as a shukriti. The good thing only goes with the soul. Am I right or wrong? And then that shukriti, according to that shukriti, the next birth comes in.
Yes, but that is not the mukti point.
No, mukti is the salvation.
Yeah, we're talking mukti. We're talking mukti or?
Yes.
We're talking mukti.
No, but your question was where does mind, ego and intelligence is living. So when it's going, only the sukriti is going, the good part.
Yes, but we're talking at the time of Mukti Prabhu. His question is, what happens to the subtle at the time of Mukti?
There is nothing.
Where the subtle things go. Subtle things are subtle. They just, wherever they go, it doesn't matter because they're not substance, they're not gross. Everything gross we have to account for. Like when we do accounting, every piece of inventory in a business has to be counted. Every piece of fixed asset has to be counted. But who sits down to count the goodwill? Nobody can count the goodwill. You can put a number on it, but you cannot count it. You cannot say, okay, today I have 3 million and 2, tomorrow I'm going to have 3 million and 4. It's just something that's not really there, physically there, but it's there. It's the most important thing in a business. Is the business's goodwill. What is more important than goodwill in a business? Nothing. But it's the most subtle thing. You cannot. So similarly, with us, the most important thing with us is our mind intelligence and our false ego. But where is it? Because it is subtle, it is not there. But it is there. And that's what is holding us here. Get it? I still see a confused look. Not clear?
It's getting clear.
Yes. Excuse me.
Sorry to ask you that question.
No, it's not. Don't be sorry.
Prabhu, in one point,
I know you are asking for benefits of others also.
Prabhu, you were asking in one point that any desire is lost. So what a devotee should desire for? Then is it last?
Okay. One thing, a broad definition of lust is material desire. Anything material I want is a material desire or lust. Devotee should not be asking for anything. But what do we ask for? We ask for Krishna Prema. Is it material? No. So we're not asking for anything material.
So this is not last then.
That is not lust.
Yeah, that's what. Okay.
Anything material is a material desire. a spiritual desire can also be a demand. Krishna, I want to live with you. I want to be with you. I want to follow you. Not on the Facebook, really. So that could be looked upon as a desire, but of course it's not a material desire, it still is a desire. But a desire to serve someone is not, it's not like a demand. If I ask you for, grant me the exclusive service of bringing out your car to your door when you leave home to go to work, you could say that I'm demanding. But I say, just keep me in your service wherever, whenever, whatever, I just want to serve you. Whenever you need, whatever you need of me, I just want to serve you. You can say that is a demand, but it's a pretty nice, not. So we don't ask Krishna for anything exclusive. Give me the place of Lalita. That could be demanded. No, I just want to be the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. Somehow or other, somewhere down there, if I can serve a servant at the bottom of the line, that's good enough. That's all I want. I just want to serve. So we don't even ask direct service. We ask the service of devotees. You know who's Manjari? Who are Manjaris? Anybody knows who's Manjaris?
Tulsi.
What's Manjari? So Radharani has 8 main Sakhis. And those 8 main Sakhis have so many other Sakhis. But then there is the little girls, pre-puberty little girls, who serve those Sakhis, who in turn serve the Ashtasakhi, who in turn serve Radharani, who in turn serves Krishna. So these little Manjaris, they have no desire to serve Krishna. They have no desire to see Krishna. They don't want to, they don't have any lust. They're just simple servants. That somehow or other, I serve the servant of the servant of the servant of the servant. And that is just perfection of my life. That's good enough. Krishna acknowledges, he notices, it's okay. He doesn't, it's okay. He appreciates, it's fine. If he doesn't, that's okay. But if I want my appreciation, I want my reward and this and that and the other thing, then that becomes different than Manjari serving. So our mood should be the mood of Manjari, serving the servants of the Lord at whatever bottom of the line that we can. Okay? Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanand.